Transition to myself. Hello world. My name is Lauren and I'm on the developer education team at Vonage, and you're watching my series, Lauren Learns Things, on Vonage Devs on Twitch. This is a series in which I choose to learn new things live for you all and invite friends and colleagues to teach me things and help me learn different types of fun, exciting implementations of our APIs. So let me introduce you to my guest today, who's a developer advocate for Vantage. His role, what? Are you not?
I was just going to be like, hello.
Oh,
no,
I'm so sorry.
You got that all right.
It's like, wait, this is important actually. You're a developer advocate for Vantage, the London developer advocate. That feels important to add, right? Because you're all about that specific niche world.
Yeah, so kind of language independent. So I kind of dip in and out of lots of technical communities, but they are all based around London and the UK by extension.
Okay, cool. So Kevin, this is Kevin. He is an experienced events organizer, board gamer, a dad to a cute little dog called Moo, and a new father to a baby named Sage. And he is, organizes really cool conferences, one called You Got This, and it's a network of events on the core skills needed for a happy and healthy work life, which is just so incredible. So let's all welcome Kevin to the stream today.
Hello, thank you for having me, Lauren.
Of course, happy to have you here today. So you're on paternity leave, but you're joining me this week to help me learn some things. What are we learning today?
So just before Amy gave birth to our daughter, I had to start thinking about how we were going to keep people in the loop about the event. I call it the event. The thing is, so there are a few challenges, right? One of them was there were quite a few people who wanted to be kept in the loop, like family members and close friends, things like that, which is totally cool.
Of course.
But my job isn't really to be a PA during that time. Like, my job is to be in the room and support Amy and kind of be involved, right? So I needed that to be quite an easy process while keeping everyone in the loop. There are a couple of other considerations. By extension, I wanted to kind of discourage people from responding to me and if I threw everyone in a WhatsApp group, for example, there might be this expectation that I need to constantly be giving updates to the group, and I do not like that. That is not what I wanted. And the final consideration, I say WhatsApp group, that wouldn't have worked because some of my family members do not use WhatsApp.
Okay.
SMS is really the only platform that all of them could be contacted on. So what I built was this thing that I've been calling Baby Bot, which, when you kind of take away the narrative, was essentially just a batch SMS tool. It was serverless, it ran on Netlify, so that's what we're going to be building today.
Awesome. Well, I like adding the use case to it. I mean, there's nothing very fun or exciting about a serverless SMS batch sender. I mean, don't tell our bosses we say that. But there is something fun when you add the functionality of keeping everyone in the loop on a new baby.
Absolutely.
So yes.
And I must stress, there are a couple of ways to do this. We have something called the Messages API, and using that, I could have sent everyone messages to a platform that best pleases them out of SMS, WhatsApp, Viber, and Facebook Messenger. But I was perfectly happy with just SMS, so I used our SMS API for this project.
Definitely. And last week, if you all joined us last week, we use the Messages API to essentially handle just that. If someone is messaging a company through their Facebook Messenger or a text, and it all came to one place. So that's what we build. Go check out that last week's episode if you'd like to build with the Messages API. But today we're staying in the world of SMS. So Kevin, where should we get started, or where should we dive in to begin?
So we're going to be using Netlify to host these serverless functions.
Okay.
For those of you who don't know what serverless is, it's this kind of paradigm where we host code on a service online, such as Netlify.
Yep.
And when someone sends data to a URL, a little server will spin up somewhere, run the code, and then it will all spin down. So you kind of don't have to worry about server maintenance. You don't need to worry about making sure it's constantly running, because the whole point is it doesn't constantly run.
Right.
So we're going to start with Netlify. Now there are a couple of ways to build Netlify serverless applications.
Okay.
One of them is using Netlify Lambda, which is a Node package, which is what I've used historically. But for the first time in this project, I tried their new beta tool called Netlify Dev,
right.
Which is, I think, just a really, really fun developer experience. So we'll be using that today.
Okay, so those of you in the chat, have you used Netlify Dev yet? If so, let us know. And if not, then let's all go on this journey together.
As a result of this, might be a little rusty in kind of guiding you through this, but we can learn together. It's all good.
That's okay. I mean, I never pretend to be an expert on these things, so I have all the questions and we can learn it together. Why not?
Excellent. So so before now, I have asked you to set up a GitHub repository, an empty, brand new GitHub repository.
Empty repo.
Fantastic. And what I want you to do is grab the SSH URL just in that blue section, the quick setup.
Got it.
Excellent. So we'll copy that, and then if we head to our code editor, we can actually just start laying down some configuration straight away and try and get to writing code as quickly as possible.
Yeah,
really.
That's always our goal, right? Aaron asks, is there latency when Netlify spins up to server to the request? To server
Very
the request.
Good. Very good question. Not sure if like a planted question, but yeah, there is. This is actually one of the downsides of serverless. Is sometimes you'll have a few milliseconds that you have to wait for everything to kind of spin up to serve. To serve the request. Yeah. Generally, the way things like this work, though, is once it's spun up, while it isn't running, it's kind of ready to be used again in quick succession. And then after it's been dormant for a while, everything will kind of spin down. Fortunately, though, it's not very long, and certainly doesn't impact this application.
Awesome. Cool. That's great. Then I mean, we know that going in, we're okay with it.
Absolutely. For some applications, you might want to consider like speed and maybe having like an application hit a serverless function every now and again just to keep it alert.
Sure.
But yeah, no, it's all good for this. But yeah, fantastic question.
Yeah.
So now that we've got that Git repository URL, let's go over to our code editor.
Okay.
And we're going to type a few things in the terminal. So just to clarify here, we're in an empty folder just for this, right?
There's nothing in here.
Excellent. So let's go and initialize a new Git repository with Git init. Fantastic.
Great.
And then let's go ahead and set the remote to this URL that you've just copied. So git remote add origin.
Yep.
And then the URL.
Remote add origin, and then what we just copied, and boom.
Excellent. And now we can go ahead and set up a new Netlify site within the terminal, and it will now kind of link to that Git repository.
Neat.
So we can do this by typing in Netlify init. And ahead of time, you've kind of downloaded...
I'll show everyone. I logged in to... Oh, I'm going to hide the captioner right now so that y'all can see my terminal, because that sometimes gets a little difficult. Okay, so we're logged in. I grabbed the key earlier and have it stored as an environmental variable, but then we're going to say, you said Netlify init?
That's right, yeah.
Netlify init.
It's going to ask you a few questions.
Okay.
So let's see what it asks.
Sure.
Awesome. So we can either connect this to a site that we've already got on Netlify, or we can create and configure a new site, which is what we're going to do.
Okay.
Pick your team.
That's really all I have, so just me. And then
and now you can pick a site name. This could be anything you want. It has to be unique across Netlify. So you might want babybot, like, I don't know, LLT, Lauren Learns Things.
Sure.
Excellent. Hit enter, and now we can. Doggo's very excited by initializing this Netlify repository.
He's like, we did it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now this is probably a step I forgot. Yeah, I forgot to ask you to do before. So just authorize GitHub now. So that's kind of happening over in your browser.
Yeah. If y'all want to see what that looks like. Feels like there should be a link here.
It should be all good if you scroll down and just pick GitHub.
The continuous deployment piece? Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And this is now it linking to your GitHub account.
Let's see if she remembers her password. She didn't.
Looks like something went wrong.
Damn it. Okay, let's refresh. Doesn't it seem like there's something you're about to share?
No.
Right?
This is step one. Yeah,
okay.
Connect to a Git provider. Looks like something went
Okay, hold
wrong.
on. How can we do this? Hold on. What is happening? Why would it be?
I mean, rather than refreshing, maybe let's fire it off again from the.
Go back. Yeah, right.
From the terminal. So if we just Control-C and do that again, we might now pick a slightly different set of answers because you have created a site. So.
Good point. Let's use this as an opportunity to go through the different terminal options. I'm wondering if while this is happening, I should just double check. Go to GitHub and make sure that I am can log in. I'm doing that just on a separate terminal.
Otherwise you wouldn't have been able to get that auth screen. You hit authorize.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
So back here, authorize. So the reason it skipped to this point is the moment you got here, it's actually created a little config file in this directory, so it already knows what site it's linked to. So let's just go straight and authorize again.
Yeek.
And failing this, there was another option to enter some creds, and so you might want to whack up your secret screen, and we can try that.
I'm in.
Oh,
I'm logged in. It did it over on my other monitor for some reason this time. So we're logged in. You're now logged in with Netlify CLI with your GitHub credentials. Okay, cool. Fabulous. So do we need to build your build command?
It can be left empty because the front end of this will just be a simple HTML page. There's no build steps required for the front end. Now the directory to deploy, this is where your kind of .html file will live. I like putting it in a folder called client because /client because it just kind of keeps everything client related in one place. So the answer to this can be /client.
Okay.
And it will now link this to your Git repository that it found in the remote for this repo, which is why we did that first.
Great.
And it should give you back your terminal in just a moment.
Once it's handled everything.
And that is everything we need.
Incredible. Pretty flawless setup.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. The Netlify Lambda setup, while it wasn't too laborious, it was more difficult than that. So that is fantastic.
Cool.
Now, let's go straight away and write off a serverless function, make sure everything's set up correctly, and then we can start fiddling with Airtable and creds and doing other bits. So let's open up our sidebar in the code editor. Let's open this folder in our code editor.
So we have.
So if you do code space dot space dash R, it will reload this code editor.
Code space dot what?
So space and then dash R, and what that will do is load the current folder. It might be code space dot space like current directory.
Got it.
-r, and it will reload this instance of Visual Studio Code.
I've used that before.
Yeah, it's really
Cool.
nifty as you move. I move between projects quite quickly, and it kind of affords me that. Great, and so what that's done is it's created a .netlify folder, and all that has is a config file with the site ID, which is why we didn't need to provide it again.
Awesome.
And then it's automatically put the .netlify folder in the .gitignore, so we don't commit that.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah, which which are kind of the common steps.
Love it.
So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a Netlify config file, and we're just going to provide a couple of really a single piece of configuration, which is where we're going to put our functions.
Okay.
So if we create a new file in our sidebar, and we're going to call it Netlify. .toml, TOML, which is a text-based file format for config.
Okay.
And that's it, just netlify.toml.
Okay.
And open that up. And we only need 2 lines here. So the first line is going to say what section this configuration is from, and we put this in square brackets.
Okay.
And we write the word build. This is a build setting.
Got it.
Now, if we go down to the next line, we tab in once, because it's an indentation-based config file format, and we write the word functions equals, and then in quotes, functions. And this value here in quotes is the directory where our functions are going to live.
Got it.
So don't get too thrown by the fact it's functions on both sides. It will always be functions on the left, and the folder where we put our functions is named on the right. I just think it's useful to put the same thing. We could just save this file off.
Great.
Wonderful. And now in the terminal, we should just be able to type. Now this is where I might be a bit rusty.
Okay.
I've not done it before, but so Netlify Dev, their CLI, gives you a way to kind of boilerplate functions directly from the terminal.
Okay.
So you should be able to type in Netlify. Oh yeah, you can do that.
I just was curious to see what else they have in there.
Does that work? Or, oh yeah, there we are. So there's quite a few bits in here. I've not tried them all.
Cool.
But the one we're going to use now is functions.
Yep, that makes sense. Manage the Netlify functions. Cool.
Netlify functions : create.
Okay. Great. Okay. Move up and down to reveal more choices. So we can create a, oh wow. Oh no, I just lost him. Ooh, that's exciting. Let's see what we're gonna do. Maybe he might call me back. Ooh, Skype just completely quit. That is so, I don't even have a draft of what we're supposed to be working through together, he and I. So that's really, we will be SOS, SOL, SO whatever. Let's open up Skype. Skype, please. Lauren had enough of me in the chat, he says. Okay, so he's still there. So let's just hope that we can reopen. It's funny because he's screenshot right above me, or like his last moment of him with me. All right, here he is. Let's give him a call. Oh, he said hello in the chat. Oh. Do I have you?
Yes.
Are you back?
We are all back.
What? Wonder what happened.
All fixed.
There
brilliant.
you are. All right, you're back. I was just saying, oh look, it gives us all these different things that we can start up with, which is really interesting to look at.
I agree. We are just going to go with the boring hello
world. Oh, rats. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll select that. We can name the function. So there are going to be 2 functions we build today. One that we'll definitely build, and one that we'll build if we have time.
Sure.
The first function will be used to kind of send these SMSs out, and the other one, if there's time, will do the receiving.
Okay.
Exactly. Cool. And in turn, forwarding them on to any number of numbers. I had them forward on to Amy and I.
Oh, nice.
I told people it didn't work, but the reality was, lovely Grandma Gloria still responded to it anyway. At least we had a way of knowing she'd done that.
Sure.
So we can name it anything we want. I think we should just name it send.
I agree. Great.
And it will go ahead and do that. So
if I open up.
Great. Yeah.
Look at that. Wow. Very cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm super into it. So this is the kind of most basic Netlify function. Let's quickly talk through it.
Okay.
We export a function into exports.handler.
Mm-hmm.
It takes two parameters, event and context, where realistically, in most cases, we will only be working with event. And all that matters is that it returns a object, which has a status code, a body, which is a string.
Okay.
And you can also provide things like headers in here. And we might need to write some headers, but we'll try and get by without them. But when we deploy this for real, we might have to come back and write a couple of functions.
Okay.
But we'll work that out when it comes. So let's kind of remove the bits here that even for a hello world we don't need, and then we can start from this kind of blank slate.
I like it.
All the stuff that's commented out we can get rid of for now. If we need to come back, we can.
Sure.
I know what it should look like. Inside of the body, let's return instead of subject. Sorry, I'm doing this in a very roundabout.
Do you want all of this gone, or do you want to keep the message, like as for the dictionary?
Let's keep the message.
Okay.
And let's just make it a string that says hello. Yeah. Anything rather than using the variable subject, and then let's nip the subject out.
Got
it. Like the variable on line 4, let's just nip that out entirely.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't even see that one.
Yeah. We might have to re-implement something that looks like this, but this is in its purest
This is just
serverless function.
Nice.
When we send data to it, all it will do is respond irrespective with hello, or if for some reason there's an error in that. I mean, there shouldn't be an error, it's not doing anything. But if there is an error, that error will be caught and we'll get a 500 back.
Okay. Fabulous.
Look okay?
Looks good to me.
Excellent. So let's just spin this up and try and call it and see what happens. And then we can start actually building our application. Now, Netlify Dev.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
No, to spin it up, I think what was the command it gave us before?
Netlify Dev.
Oh.
And in the real, this wouldn't only spin up the serverless functions, but when we have a client directory, it'll also spin that up all on the same localhost port. So historically, you'd need to have your kind of Netlify functions running on port 9000, what Netlify Lambda uses by default. And then you would need your front end running where in reality, that's not how Netlify deploys it. So this looks a lot more like how Netlify actually does it. So as you can see here, server listening to port 3999.
Nice.
Functions listening on port 55203, but you don't need to care about that because it's all kind of rolled up for you at localhost 8888.
Great.
So let's give that a try. So let's open Postman.
Oh, okay.
Oh, actually, no, you're completely right. We can just do it straight in the browser for this for now.
So let's see, local. What did they give us? 888?
8888/send.
Yep.
We'll see what happens there. Right.
All right. It's exciting.
So we've hit an interesting difference. I know what's happened here.
Okay.
So we've hit an interesting difference between Netlify Lambda and Netlify Dev.
Okay.
So Netlify Dev pretty much emulates the entire Netlify kind of platform experience on your local machine.
Got it.
And when that's the case, the URL isn't actually just /send. It appends, in between that, it adds a few bits.
Got it.
So in here we can type in localhost 8888/.netlify. And I just happen to know this because I've deployed quite a few Netlify functions /functions/send.
Got it.
And I think this should work now.
Okay. So take a look
Great.
over at
that.
our terminal. We've had moments. Okay.
Oh, I think You're missing a round bracket on the end of line 6.
Yeah, that's got it. It's just missing. Oh, yeah. Let's look over at the code all together. Just right here. There's just that is missing.
And then if you hit save, it should automatically restart the server.
Oh, okay.
So if you scroll down in your terminal, if that's not the bottom of it. There we are.
Oh, it says reloading. Yeah. Okay, I was kind of
stuck.
stuck.
Now we can just refresh the browser.
So let's go back to the browser view for y'all. And then, all right, message hello. Very good. Nice. I actually like when we get an error like that at the beginning, just to see what that looks like. And then I love, that hot reloading is nice too. So cool.
Yeah. And I don't think I've ever had it like hard fail with quitting the whole thing now. Maybe I have once or twice, but it's really nice. Even when there's an error, it keeps it all spun up.
Nice.
Great. So now we know that we can have serverless functions. I mean, how did you find that experience from kind of 0 to serverless functions? 0
to 60 real quick. I thought that. I mean, look, we've been on for 20 minutes. We've been doing this together, and that was a good bit of. I get it. So if you're watching in the chat and something was confusing along that process, please let us know, because we're happy to go through back and kind of make sense of those steps that we just took. But yeah, awesome, really cool.
Absolutely, good. I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah.
Right. Let's go and set up. Let's go set up Airtable now. And then I get to show you a really cool feature of Netlify Dev, which just. It's so delightful.
Great.
We'll look at it in a bit. So we are now in Airtable.
Yeah.
So I've been on your stream before, and we used Airtable in that stream.
Yep, that was the only other time I've used Airtable, actually.
Cool. I mean, people can think of it broadly as it's this right there, the pink one on the second row, the second one in, received.
Yeah, received messages. We kept a log of... Right? Is that what we did? Of all the messages?
Exactly
that's right. Yeah. That was cool. That was really fun.
You can think of Airtable broadly as a kind of light relational database meets Google Docs.
Yep.
But they have an API that makes it really easy to interact with from your applications.
Yeah.
And then you don't need to build like an admin interface, because this is the admin interface.
It functions as that. Yeah, that's really great.
So let's go and create a brand new Airtable base. And we can just start from scratch.
Yeah, I like that.
Yes, and despite saying start from, we can call it whatever you want, baby bot maybe, or whatever.
I want baby bot. All right, great.
Very good.
And this is. Wonder if there's a baby.
I don't think there is.
Bummer.
There's a smiley face.
Let's say magic, because magic babies. All right, I guess just enter. Oh, cool. Baby bot.
And despite saying start from scratch, it does create a few fields, which
it does.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
So we'll keep name, and then let's delete every other one.
And then just start from genuine scratch.
Yes, and we will need a name. So the way this was built was, so we had names, and then we had a field called numbers, phone numbers, and we stored those in the correct format for our Vonage APIs.
Yeah.
And then when we hit send, it would come over to Airtable, loop through every item, or get it, then loop through every item and send it with the SMS API.
Right.
And if it failed at any point, it would show us who it failed to.
Nice.
So depending on the severity of the message and who it failed to, I might choose to manually get in touch with that person.
Yeah, that's really helpful.
Fortunately, nothing failed, which was really nice, and it's nice that was the API not failing. But I wanted to also factor in that it might, and kind of capture that use case. So we have name, and then we have number.
Okay. Oh, but I don't want it to be a text field, right?
Yeah, you can make it a text field, you can make it number. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. Our API takes them as strings, so let's just leave them as strings.
Okay.
And that's all we need, just name and number.
Fabulous.
And so let's delete field 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then table 1 at the top, let's rename it to, I don't know, people. Doesn't really matter what it's called. I like people.
I like people too.
And now every row here will be a single person with a name and a number. So let's try yours. You have a number that you use for streams, right?
I sure do. Where is that burner phone? Burner phone. I want to make up a theme song for the burner phone. Shoot, please tell me.
I forgot what it is.
Please tell me it's charged. 1 second.
No worries.
Really got to start using my burner phone. Does it have any weird things like Excel, like stripping leading zeros if the field? That's a really good question too.
Good question. I don't think so. I think Airtable does actually return them as strings. Actually, I'm not sure. Now I'm thinking about it.
Okay, that was funny. You wrote the word the auto mod got kicked in on Twitch. Because the word stripping.
I know the answer to this.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yes, it does strip leading zeros, but it does that in the UI as well. So you would know really quickly that that's the case. However, I'm not sure. Now, I really only know US, UK, and Israel. None of those number formats in the I-16-4, whatever the actual format that. Yeah, I don't think they all start 0, so I don't think it's an issue. Let's also throw my number in there, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know how to. I've got one of these.
Yeah, I'm getting text messages. Not really.
UK cell phones in the correct format, the MSISDN format, they start 4.4.
Yep.
So I've kind of had to do that. So no. You're ready for the number. I don't know what it is.
Oh, gosh, I don't know how to use this. Oh, I guess you still need the 4.4. Yeah. Oh, I see what he's saying. Yeah, you need the 4.4.
Yeah. Because they come in a standard format, and that's in the Vonage API docs. Like on one of the help pages, it says what format it needs to be in. And so 4.4 is how the UK ones start. So they don't start with a 0, and they don't think MSISDN start with 0. But I am more than happy to be told I'm wrong in some localities, but not for the numbers we'll be trying. Right, I'll try this for another short moment, and if it's not going to play,
if you can't find it, yeah. It's so funny. My burner phone is an Android, and I don't know how to use it at all, and so it just makes all these noises at me. And okay, let me see. Burner phone, where
phone
are
settings?
you?
No.
Phone
Sim setting. You know what? I've flashed my real number on stream too many times for this to really matter. So I am going to put it in the chat.
I have honestly, looking at this right now, I have no idea to tell. I've written down what this phone number is, but I could not tell you how to find that. Okay, great, got it right there.
There you go. Have fun, everyone. Have fun, everyone.
Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. So,
Excellent.
Great.
Oh, I like being Evan.
Oh, weird.
That's all right. I'll answer to that, and then let's just delete the extra row 3 that it gave us. Like we don't need that. We'll just try it with these.
Okay. Anyone else got a burner phone they want to pop in? No. Okay. All right. Oh, dang it. Wait.
Yeah, you've got to hang on. So click out of the. I mean, you could do it in the field, just not while it's selected. You could just right click.
I got it. Oh, okay, got it. Okay, and there isn't another one. It just looks like it. It's just that plus. Okay.
Yeah, that's like it. Yeah, absolutely. So now we've got this database set up. There are 2 things we're going to need. We are going to need our Airtable API key, which obviously I'm going to show to people, but you can get that at airtable.com/account, and you can generate one if you haven't already, and then you can regenerate them if people see your key and stuff like that.
Okay.
One word of warning though, that key carries like account level permissions. There's nothing more granular, and I'm really frustrated by it, but whatever. So just be aware that like if someone sees that key, they have access to every base in every workplace that your account has access to. So
be warned.
Just know that that's the case. And the other thing we'll need is our base ID. And so we can get to that by going to airtable.com/API. Excellent. And picking our base. And it is right there in green. The ID of the base is. Yeah, it's there as well. You've got it highlighted.
Yeah, I remember you told me that last time that it was in the URL. So where do we want this?
So now we're going to go over to Netlify.
Okay.
And if we go to our like app listing, so scroll up a little. I suppose just hit the Netlify logo top left.
Here, this one?
This is kind of no. Scroll up and literally just hit the Netlify logo. Here we are.
Oh,
Here are the sites.
I see. Okay.
So go to this first one here. And if we go to settings at the top.
Site settings?
No, sorry. Oh yeah, site settings is fine. That'll take
us. Oh, but I see where you were pointing it to.
Yeah, but they're equivalent. Now, if we go to build and deploy in the sidebar.
Yep.
And scroll down. Now you'll notice here, publish directory / client. We set that in the CLI. It's kind of come through here.
That's cool.
But yeah, it is cool. But what we actually want is some environment variables. So if we scroll down, further, environment, we can edit variables.
Sure.
So let's create one called Airtable API Key. And let's create a new variable called Airtable base.
And I'm gonna pop away so that y'all can't see this when I.
And at this point, hide this, pop those two values in, save it, and just come off this page so we don't see the keys again.
We're going secrets. We're going full secret screen. All right. Airtable key.
So again, you can get that at airtable.com/account. And so we're just going to hit save there, and then just ditch off of this page. If we scroll all the way up to the top,
we are in business. Thank you for enjoying the beautiful secrets. I give it at least 20 minutes until Lauren shows it on the stream.
Do you want to know what? Almost in spite of you for that comment, I'm going to try really hard.
Game on, brother. Let's freaking do it. I feel confident in myself. I can do it. I can do this. I'm not gonna shut up. Okay.
Let's hope not. Now we've been a bit cocky now, so
I know.
I feel like we have to be like.
I feel like I'm really. It's okay. All right. It's all right. We can do this.
Let's go back to our code editor because for now we have done what we need to do in the browser until we fiddle with the Vonage APIs.
Oh, okay, great. So, all right.
So now let's stop this Netlify dev server running. Let's restart it, and I want to show you something really cool, which I just found delightful. Like I really loved it.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Right.
So what this is now done, if we scroll up through
I think I saw something there. Oh, it injected the Airtable base. It took that.
However, it did only say Airtable base.
Why not the?
But you should also have an Airtable API key. So back to secrets. Let's figure out why that is. Or back to not showing.
Yeah, I have this. I'm looking at my browser right now, and I have Airtable API key. Oh, sorry, an Airtable base.
Yeah, odd.
It should have had multiple of them.
I'm gonna assume that's fine, and that there's just a little bug here. This is in beta. If it becomes an issue later, we will know, and we will be able to fix it.
Okay, now, but we're okay with this.
Cool. Everything else is good. Okay, everything else is good. But what it's now done is it's grabbed our environment variables from the Netlify platform and made them available here without a .m file. However, if you have a .m file, it will grab values from that and overwrite them. So you can have a combo. So you might have some keys that you're happy to use in both contexts, some keys that you want changed out, and that it supports that out the box, which I just love.
Love it. Interesting.
So now that we've done that, let's actually, while I said let's start Netlify dev, I did that a little preemptively. Let's stop that and install some dependencies.
Oh, okay.
And we're only going to need 2 dependencies. So if we go npm install, we're going to need 2. So the first is going to be Airtable -plus. So Airtable is the official package. This is not an official package. What this does is it wrappers the official package in promises, which just makes them a little nicer to work with.
Cool.
Just be aware that that's the case. And we'll also want the next mode package a little later. So I figure we may as well go and install it now. And let's just hit enter and wait for those to install.
Lovely. So the plus wraps it in promises.
That's it, and that's the only feature.
That's the differentiator. Okay. Okay.
I prefer working with like async await rather than their own syntax, which is like lots of you have to like nest things in quite a lot.
Got it.
This is just how I prefer working with it.
Okay. All right, so we now have.
Yep, so we now have access to these two packages. So at the very top of this send.js, let's delete the comment on line 1 and replace it with requiring Airtable plus. So const Airtable, and let's use capital A, so Airtable, and then equals require, and then in quotes Airtable dash plus. Hang on. Not in brackets.
Oh.
Sorry, so the word require
and then
in the brackets.
Oh my gosh, my keyboard is not going at the same.
Finger.
No, it's interesting. It's not.
It's the keyboard, isn't it?
Yeah, right. Come on.
And we'll just want to wrap the quotes with round brackets as well.
Yeah.
Excellent. And then we want to go ahead and initialize this. So on the next, so we've required it, now we initialize it. Very similar to the Nextmo node library. So const Airtable with a lowercase a. And the reason I've done this is it's just the pattern we use in our API, so I figured it would look the same. Equals new Airtable with a capital A.
And so it'll just be a new instance. Okay.
That's right. Brackets. And this takes an object. It's just like R1. So some squiggly brackets, and we'll hit enter. And there are 3 things we need to provide here. The first is your Airtable base. I'll tell you what they are.
Okay.
Airtable base, Airtable key, and the Airtable table name, the one that we changed to people. So Airtable. Sorry. I was just telling you what they were. That isn't what they're called. I'm just sorry. That was
I heard you when you said I'll tell you. And I just,
So the first one is just called base, and then all lowercase, and then capital ID.
Base ID. Okay.
Yeah, and that will have the value of process.env dot. Sorry, not equals colon because it's another thing. Process.env dot. What did we call it? Airtable base. Oh, not processing instruction.
Why did it? Oh, okay. I think I might switch away.
Your autofill's having a Barney.
I think
tonight.
I might switch away from using my keyboard and just use my actual Mac. And then what did we call?
I think we called it Airtable base. Maybe Airtable base ID. Let's check.
We can check it over in the browser while you all.
Yeah, or in our terminal.
Oh, Airtable base and then Airtable API key.
Right.
Okay, cool. Back to code.
So the next one is going to be called API, all lowercase, key with a capital K.
Got it.
You've got an extra I there. Process.env dot, and then we called it Airtable API key. What is a baby bot? Fantastic question. When we strip away all the narrative, it is a bulk SMS thing. You can send a message in a little web panel, and it will send out to a list of people in an Airtable database. It's called baby bot because I used it to keep family and friends updated when we went to hospital 10 days ago to have a child. And that's what we're building today. And then finally, we will need a table name, lowercase table, and name with a capital N. And we can hard code this. We didn't set this as an environment variable, so we can do this as a quote, and we just called it people, all lowercase.
That's right.
There's nothing sensitive about that whatsoever.
Totally.
So now we have access. Now we have access to Airtable, although we're not 100% sure if our Airtable API key made it to the front end, but that's okay. We'll establish that in a moment.
Right.
Inside of the try block.
Good to see you, Rickle. Well, welcome. Definitely happy to have you here. This is great to have you all in the chat as well. Right, so just a reminder that we all are not 100% sure that this is actually been like loaded from, but we're okay. We're confident, but we know that if we get an error, that might be a piece of it.
Yes.
Right.
So just to clarify, inside of this exports handler, which is the actual code that will be run whenever this function is triggered, it always ends with returning an object with a status code. Well, it always has a status code. It may have a body. It may have headers and other config, but it always have a status code. So everything we're doing is getting us to the point of returning an object. So just bear that in mind. So the code we're going to write now goes inside of the try block, but above the return statement.
Got it.
And yeah, so return will always be at the end.
Got it.
And so what are we going to do here? Let's just go to Airtable, see if we can retrieve those 2 records and just console log them.
Okay.
And then we'll be a fair amount of the way to where we need to be. So what we're going to do is create a new variable, actually, and let's just call it people.
See?
Yeah, I have those too.
It's my...
It looks like you're actually going to have to type some code today. I know, CLG is the one that always gets me. Sometimes it doesn't. I hit tab before it's kind of figured out.
It's just funny. It's
and remember, we're using Airtable Plus, which means we can use async await. So we can write the word await.
Okay.
Space.
Come on.
And then,
Come on, computer. You know you want to type await. There you are. Okay, all right.
And then just Airtable lowercase, not brackets, Airtable lowercase, which remember is the instance of the Airtable Plus, all configured with our API key base ID table name .read, and that's a method. So wax and brackets after the D. Fantastic. Next line, let's console log people and just see what happens. Great. Now let's save that, restart Netlify dev, and then we will try and... we don't need to show people us doing this. We can go to the browser and refresh localhost 8888 when it's time. See if anything gets logged over in the console.
Okay.
The AI was you typing.
I'm curious if folks... So I don't know if y'all are seeing that, but like when I'm typing... on this keyboard, it doesn't seem to pick up. It picks up like every other letter, and I'm wondering if it's because my CPU. I know I've been like having trouble with that recently. Have y'all ever experienced that before? Or am I just like inventing a new problem to have? I'm gonna refresh my browser right now.
Yeah, before. Oh yeah, okay.
Airtable read is not a function. That's a fun.
Excuse me. I think Airtable read is a
function. But that means it's not pulled in Airtable correctly.
Yeah, almost certainly.
So
and
let's go.
Here it still has only injected the build setting.
Yeah,
Airtable
interesting. Oh, bummer. I was hoping that when we rebuilt it, it would maybe, if it hadn't yet, like grab.
That's all good. While your browser isn't being shown, let's just edit those environment variables again and hit save again.
Sure.
Just check there's no trailing spaces.
So is this Airtable API key? Maybe let's look back and double check that that's my API key.
Yeah, but it should pull it in whatever it is, right? So Airtable.
Good point. Yeah.
It should.
That's a good point.
It should pull it in even if it's not.
Yeah.
Not them working. The error would be different.
Sure,
but let's
sure. No, that's it. Dang.
That looks the same as one I can see.
Oh, actually. Oh yeah, that's the same.
Anyway,
all right.
It's fine. Let's just hit save and that's all good. Let's restart Netlify dev.
Wait, that's not what I want. This is what I want.
And if this is still playing up, then we will figure it out.
Okay. Could we hard code it in via the command line?
We can use a .m file.
Okay. Oh, right. You said we can mix and match.
Oh, I think you might actually be able to provide environment variables using flags when you start up, but I don't think you wouldn't want to do that on stream because then people still see.
No, I wouldn't want to, but I mean, yeah. Right. Look, so here we have base. Weird. So it's just... All right. Let's just try renaming it. I'm just trying to think. Like, I don't think it's incorrect.
So I'm just thinking like
maybe let's just call it an API key.
Sure. Yeah, for now. It might get confusing when
exactly,
we
but let's just
SMS
see.
API.
All right. This is what we spend most of our day doing is just seeing where the environment variables are hidden. Okay. Oh, look at that. It took it. Great. Interesting.
Very odd. All right. So can we just try renaming it back to Airtable API Key?
Hey.
And then just restarting it. And it might have just needed a little kick up the bum. Just as a note, Airtable dev's in beta still, so like I'm not too. At this point, I'm not too fussed if things play up occasionally. Overall, it provides a nice enough experience that I'm happy for things to go astray occasionally.
Is that how you Airtable API Key? Am I spelling that correct? Okay, cool.
Yep.
Thanks. Yep. This is
and if it doesn't work, we will change it back.
Sure.
Just very intrigued. For some reason, I don't think Airtable API Key is going to be like a reserved keyword.
Sure.
Oh. I have a hunch why. I know. Is it because you have it stored in your
my environmental variable? Yeah.
Is it doing something funny with that?
Yeah.
That is almost certainly it. So scroll up, and I bet it won't be included now.
It won't. But couldn't we then use it by just here? Where it has that. Does that make sense?
So then that isn't the problem. And to be fair, it probably would have been a bit more verbose when there was an error if it was not being initialized correctly. But interesting. We've now learned that's the case. So just to clarify, you have Airtable API Key on your machine as a machine.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we didn't need to inject that build setting.
Right, because it's already there. Does that make sense to everyone? I bet that doesn't. I bet that's confusing. But it exists already on my machine, the way that I have my streaming Vonage keys, because I use them every week. So it's already saved. But that doesn't get to why we have this error.
It doesn't work. So let's take a look.
Let's just look back at the code.
Yeah.
Okay. Does this all look correct to you syntax-wise? This is kind of my kryptonite is getting the syntax.
Can we take a look again at Airtable and just make sure that the table name is indeed people, lowercase p, there's no spaces, there's nothing going on there.
People.
Looks all good to me.
That's a word that doesn't look like it's spelled correctly. If you look at it too many
that happens
times.
with any word.
Any word.
Airtable.read. All right. Well, let me take a look at Airtable Plus documentation and make sure that it is indeed read, because maybe read isn't the way you do it, even though it is how I did it in my code base when I built this 2 weeks ago.
Right. Things change.
It is Airtable.
So we have const people, console log people. But it's erroring out on line 10 where it's saying I don't know what read is.
Could you? I don't think this will be it, but could you try putting in an empty object inside of read?
Yeah, sure.
I think that error said that read wasn't a valid method, but let's try it anyway. And later we will potentially put
things within it.
Config in here. Let's try restarting. Oh, you don't need to restart Netlify Dev. It's all.
It says it's reloading.
Hot reload. So let's try.
Let's go all together and refresh this pup, and we get
500.
All right, it's exciting.
All right. I love this.
This is so fun. Don't you all feel comfortable and at home? This just feels so familiar. What?
I've seen it. Const Airtable require Airtable, except we didn't npm install Airtable. We npm installed Airtable Plus. So.
Oh my gosh! So here we have to do Airtable Plus.
Neither of us caught it.
Gosh, y'all! When you install something, make sure you're actually requiring the correct thing to install. It looks like it's reloading. So back to. Oh, I'm sorry. I had the browser. I had the code. I don't know what view I had open, but y'all, the error was right here. It's saved. Let's go back to the browser, refresh it, and Oh, no, that's not. Sorry, you're late. Hi. Oh, look who's here. Welcome. And in fact, here is a message for you. It's Martin D. Hello. That's exciting, Kevin. Oh, look at our browser or what we have going on here. That's thrilling.
So let's note a few things here. So it has returned an array of objects. The objects, each individual object is a record. It has an ID, which is kind of like an internal Airtable ID.
Fabulous.
Then it has a created time, which is pretty self-explanatory. Then it has a property called fields, which is an object full of everything we have provided visually in the UI.
Right.
So what we want is inside of fields, but that is great. We're now getting something back. So this is wonderful.
Lovely.
So now we've got this working. Let's set up the Vonage SMS API, and whenever we just go to /send, let's just send the same hard-coded SMS, and we'll kind of build it incrementally. Then we'll allow it to be edited. Then we'll build a front end that allows us to type a message.
Okay.
Sound okay?
That sounds great to me. All right.
So let's go to dashboard.nexmo.com.
Oh, my favorite place.
You can do the little spiel if you want.
Oh my gosh! Well, let's just reload it because sometimes you have to and you forget.
15 minutes.
Yep. And it feels like that time just goes so quickly. Time to Vonagify. My timing was perfect. Yes, absolutely. We're just ready to get into those APIs, and you couldn't be more on brand. All right, so let's see. I have beneath me, if you're following along right now, this is the moment to ensure that you've added the Twitch coupon code. It's a brand new one for this month, so grab it now. Be there, be square, or be square. I don't know. It'll be fun. Okay, so it'll up your credit, and it'll also, as I bet you can imagine, that coupon code is linked to metrics connected to the stream. So if you could be a doll and grab that and load it, that would be particularly helpful, because then, people will be like, oh, the streams, they're popular. We should make more of them. You can see the line of thinking there, so thanks.
Yeah, all right. As a fellow stream creator, I endorse this plan.
Yes.
Right, we're gonna need a couple of bits from here.
Sure.
Before we start fiddling with all the settings, let's just get the kind of environment variable key bits out the way. We have an API key. We have an API secret. You can get them here. Do not show people your secret. If people see your secret, regenerate it, and it invalidates the old ones. With a combination of your API key and secret, people can charge your account and do bits. So do not do it. Right, Lauren, so your challenge is not to show people your API key and secret.
And you know what? I think we have surpassed that 20-minute bet that Aaron started, so we should have taken a bet on that, but, whatever.
Yeah, I should have taken some wages.
We really should have.
Let's grab the API key and secret, and I think you use a different set for your stream, so that's all good, but this is where you grab them.
Yes, this is an important place for everyone to note.
So don't do this on stream, but what we're going to do now is stick up the secret screen so you can't see it. We're going to go over to Netlify. We're going to add 2 new environment variables, one for the key and one for the secret. Like. Yeah, and even though Lauren has them available locally, we're still going to provide them here, so when we deploy it, we have access to the same keys.
Yep, that makes sense.
So we're going to. So what are you going to call them?
We'll call them Vonage API Key.
Wonderful. So that was the one on the left.
Yep.
In the dashboard.
And then we'll do Vonage API secret is what I would like to call the second one. If that's
and that was the one that is all good, and that's the one that was kind of in the passworded field that you shouldn't let other people see.
Right. Good point. Vonage API secret. Your key it's not super secret.
No. Great, and just you might want to just scroll out of this little area for when you come back.
Bring everyone back. Okay,
great.
Cool.
So they're now available in our Netlify project, which means in turn when we restart Netlify dev locally, we'll have access to them.
Fabulous.
What else do we need to do to kind of receive SMSs?
interessant. I think we need to. Ooh, what if we just like follow this path? Is our path? Oh, it's getting started.
Yeah, it's all. It's also. Well, actually, not. Yeah, there's some sample code on this page which is very close to what we'll need to write.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
right here actually, which is excellent. But let's take a quick look at this. Yeah, this is good, and we will need something that looks just like this in a moment. But first, we're going to need a phone number.
Sure. You wanna show everyone how to buy one?
Let's do that.
Okay. We go over here to numbers and let's buy a number. Actually, that's great. We've been buying them recently on the CLI, so it's good to show this every once in a while how to buy it through the dashboard also, because you can do both.
And to be fair, a lot of what we did with Netlify Dev on the CLI, we could also do in the visual interface. Yeah. Very minimal amount needed to link them.
Yeah,
and it's nice to change it up. So we can grab a number here.
What do we need it? I have plenty. But let's do one. Let's do one now. Let's feature. We definitely know we want it to be SMS. Definitely.
Yeah, we're just gonna need SMS for this one.
Okay.
The last thing I would want is someone ringing this number in the context of it being used. So let's go grab one.
All right.
That's great. And that's
Fabulous.
A monthly cost against your balance. You can release it at any point.
And so it's really like a renting of it, if you will.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, Okay, and then if you didn't if you didn't save it or like grab it in that moment, you can go over to your numbers section and you can then copy and paste it there. I imagine that it's probably this one that I just bought because in 31 days, that makes sense.
Yes.
Okay.
Now there's a couple of things we're going to need to do now, and this is something we do in a lot of projects that we build, and it is take our local application, make it available publicly, and then provide that URL to Vonage. So every time we receive an SMS,
they're talking about what numbers they think.
007 would be good.
That'd be really good.
With BabyBot, I did use. You know what? I'm actually not going to share this live on the stream. I'm a professional. Okay. I found like a slightly funny string and I was like, you know what? I'm going to have family members type this in over and over again. Anyway, so
1-800-BABY.
Absolutely. Let's go.
Wait.
Yeah, could you do it with? Oh yeah.
Did I just figure it out?
Wait,
is it BabyBot?
I've got it. Hang on. It isn't baby. It isn't.
Did I crack the code?
Let's go back to our terminal.
What are you wanting to do?
Open ngrok. And what ngrok does is it takes localhost applications and makes them available publicly to a URL that we can provide to the Vonage API platform before it is actually on the internet.
Yep.
It's local.
What's happening? Okay, there it is. Cool. So to get that started, we go start, and it's called Lolo Stream. This is my ngrok. So we'll take that.
Oh, except that might not be friendly because we are not running something on port 3000. We're running something on 8888.
That's fine. Then why don't we just do ngrok HTTP fame?
Have you got ngrok as a alias to the location of the file? Yeah. I mean, we'll figure it out. Yeah, right.
It might not be. I forget where it is, so I haven't done this in a while. Let's just find out.
Let's run it in it.
Yep, we're good.
But fine, great.
All right. So we have that running. URL. And then let's go back to browser and win Lolo. Ooh, Lolo's good. Should I get all 5656? Ooh, because then you're laughing out loud too. Okay. Do you want to make an application?
No, nope. We're just using SMS, so we don't need to create an
That's
application.
right. That's true. So
SMS is, yeah. And just to note, this also could have been built with the Messages API, which does require an application.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we're just, so if we go back to our numbers, what we're going to do is configure
a number.
I feel like Martin's found a new calling in finding novelty phone numbers.
Devs. I mean, yeah, this is exciting. I'm liking all of them. Okay, wait, which one did we just bought this
There's one with 31 days left on it.
Manage.
Oh. And the inbound webhook URL for SMS. So every time we receive an SMS, that data will be sent to this URL / and now remember it's .netlify.
Oh, I just was gonna put send.
I know.
Netlify, I have no memory of what this one was.
There are nicer ways to handle this. But,
Netlify, functions. Functions.
That is correct.
That is correct.
At least I believe that's correct. We'll find out
Well,
shortly.
let's find out, right?
That's everything we need to do here.
Sick.
So, just to be clear, what we just set up is when we receive SMSs.
I need to write down
We'll do that if we have time. What we actually really care about is kind of sending them. And in order to do that, you don't need to do this configuration with ngrok we just did. But we set it up somewhat preemptively because I zoned and forgot the order of what we're doing. But we've done that now, so if
sometimes I find myself, it's just a flow of creation for like for apps or kind of working. Loud noises. Cool. So
now let's now that we've got this set up, we have a phone number. So you might just want to copy that to your clipboard if you haven't already.
Got it.
Fab.
I went old school.
Great. And now let's go back to our code, and instead of console log people, let's go and send a message. And what we'll do actually, I've had a slight change of heart.
Okay.
Have I had a change of heart?
Have you?
I have not had a change of heart.
Oh, the heart is what it started as.
Yeah, I was thinking like we could split it out into its own function, return a promise, and then we can handle failure. But I don't think we need to do that for today, so it's all good. So after we have created this people variable, let's go and loop through them. So we can loop through them with a for loop, a for of loop. So for and then. Is it just that? No. So it's for. Oh, that's nice. Okay, that expanded nicely. Yes, it is this. So the
yeah.
I think you might need to make the iterator the const a let, but the fact it expanded to this tells me this is probably fine. But by force of habit, I use let, and we'll call it person, I guess. Person
singular of people, sure. Person, people, things. Great. Of people.
Yeah, now inside this code block,
purple
person
people
is the
leader.
Record.
So 213-409 baby. 409 is
not really. Do you want to know what? That's not really a thing in the UK. Like these kind of novelty phone numbers, but I see it in the US. They're like, you can call 213-409 baby, and that doesn't even cross. Like I've never seen that in the UK. I only see it in the US.
409 is 409. Is 409 something?
It's 2229 is how it ends. I've got my T9.
No, you're just saying baby is available. God, I got a really weird text message just now, not related to the stream. I'm gonna try not to let that rattle me. Okay, so what are we? We're doing in a for loop. We're on line 12, yeah?
Yeah, so now person is going to be each record, and we are going to want to send a message, and we can do that with, and this was on the dashboard, but we can just type it because it actually is really lovely and kind of concise.
Yep.
We can go Nexmo. Can we do Nexmo? We can't do Nexmo because we've not included it or initialized it.
No, we've not even handled that piece yet. Let's go to the top.
So we'll use the same pattern. When we require the package, we'll use a capital N. Preference is yours. You can do whatever you want, but our docs do it like this, so we'll do it like this for sake of consistency.
See? We'll get there. Come on. Do the M. Type it. Frick. That is going to just annoy me to no end. Let's do we need to bring in our...
next not Nemo. Although Nemo would be pretty sweet.
My gosh. This is truly... No, it's fine. I'm going to have a great attitude right now.
all is fine. This is all chill. We're making really good time.
We're chill. We're cool.
So we're only going to need two pieces of information for this one.
Sure.
We are going to need an API key, and we are going to need an API secret. And just to remind people, we set these up in the Netlify dashboard, but Lauren also has them available locally, which means we'll use the local versions of these. But when we go and deploy this later, we'll use the version that's in Netlify. If we didn't have them locally, it would use the version that's in Netlify.
Right. And so because I have them called the oh my gosh.
Vonage.
Come on.
No, Vonage.
I have a Vonage stream API key locally.
That, just as an FYI.
Is that going to mess things up?
Yeah, it won't work when we deploy it unless the deployed versions are also called the same thing.
I may choose to go, oh my gosh, this CPU. Oh my gosh. Hi, Moo. So I may choose to change.
Make a choice, Lauren.
Well, right? I am. My choice was to change
the Netlify version.
Yes, if you don't mind.
All good.
And then it'll be Vonage stream API. Sometimes society doesn't.
Dog's chill. The moment I rattle him, that's it. He's there. When he gets a bit rowdy, I'll placate him by bringing him on the stream. So you have to stay here for a bit longer.
There you go.
Right, hate to be awkward. I generally wouldn't do this on a stream, but things are obviously a bit hectic right now.
That's fine.
Give me 30 seconds away from the stream. In the meantime,
I'm gonna go update my
send SMS code. Oh yeah, if you do that and then start with the send SMS, I will be back in 45 seconds.
Have a great time. We'll miss you so much. I am just updating something on my secrets and you guys can't see it. You said it's like a Punycode domain name. So I remember registering a domain with the TM symbol in when Punycode first came out. Punycode. What's Punycode? Vonage stream API key. Vonage stream API key and secret. Save. Okay, I think my keys and secrets are all up to date now. I think. Okay. I think that's right. I think that means though I have to reload my Netlify dev. Okay, let's see. So the reason I did all of that is because we need these to be named the same thing everywhere. And I think we're good. We'll see, I suppose, right? So, he gave me a task, didn't he? Yeah, he said, Lauren, you need to go get to work and go to the code. Okay, so we're in the loop. So let's see. What is this going to include? Probably a Nexmo and a message and a send SMS. Send SMS. Send hello. Okay, so I think what you tasked me to do was to write a send message. Once I updated everything, and so we have to go from, to, and what we want to send. Is that right?
Correct. So the first thing we're going to do is provide the string of the number that we got in the Nexmo dashboard a few minutes ago. 35058. This is the phone number we just purchased all together, remember? And then we're going to send it to... Just to check, is that the correct format?
I don't remember. I haven't formatted it, or I haven't hard coded it, but yeah, I think so.
US numbers start 1.
1.
I think that looks like a US number.
That seems. Yeah, that's. I forget the one.
Good.
I forget the one always, actually, but that seems right. And then we're gonna do the not people because we're looping through them. The person, and then we want.
So it's person. So it's not person.
Oh.
Person's the whole object. So it will be person.fields.
Yep.
And can we just check? I think fields is lowercase, but the field names as we have them in Airtable are uppercase. So if we just scroll up in our terminal, we log them to
I remember that.
So we have them just a moment away.
There they are. Fields.
Fields is lowercase.
Fields.name.
Dot number.
Oh, fields dot.
Oh, dot number.
Number.
Dot number with a capital N.
Got it.
That is the field name in their table. So if we use lowercase number. And then the final thing is any message you fancy.
Great.
Much better.
Person, fields, number. Okay, that just means
only one way to find out. Let's scroll down in our terminal just so we see latest logs. And if there's an error, we will see there's an error. It automatically refreshed for us. So now let's go ahead to our browser and just refresh, and that will trigger this. End.
Shall we?
Okay. And hopefully we will both receive an SMS.
Burner phone, where are you?
Got a 200. It said message hello. That means I got a message.
You did.
What's up, friend?
Sup, friend?
You can use me as the guinea pig for this. I'm not fussed. So yeah,
that's
by
great.
extension, I'm confident you also received one.
I will soon.
So that's great. So we've now sent a message using a serverless function.
Fabulous.
We've got keys coming from Netlify and keys coming from our local machine, which is just a really nice meld. Now the next thing we're going to want to do is actually change the message, right? We want a way to provide ways for people to enter messages. Now, if I'm not mistaken, we have kind of 15-20 minutes in an ideal, right?
Sure.
Great.
You think we can do it?
Fortunately, this isn't going to take too long. We might not have time to build the inbound handler. That was very much an afterthought. In fact, in the messages I sent, I'll read you what BabyBot sent. So I prepended every message.
Okay.
And I prepended it with, "Hello, I am BabyBot, and I've been asked by Amy and Kevin to send you the below message. Please don't reply to this number." And then 2 line breaks. So there's a gap, and then the message I wrote. So really, I was really dissuading people from replying because I didn't want it to be an expectation. It was a dialogue. It wasn't a dialogue.
Okay.
So we let's only build the outbound today, and I can point people in the direction of
what to do next.
Code. Exactly. So now that we've done this, let's maybe build a little HTML page that allows us to send a message. So now, if you'll remember, we said way back at the beginning that our folder that we were going to deploy was called client.
Yes,
so we're going to want to create a new folder in our root called client.
Got it.
And inside of that, just create an index.html.
Let's do it. Do.
Excellent. Let's just hit save. Let's maybe write a word in hello or something, and let's just check that it's being served correctly.
Okay. Do. Then where do we go to the browser and look for it?
Localhost 8888.
Not Netlify Functions send.
No, because that's our function.
Right.
Our front end
there she is.
And so this is what Netlify Dev does that's really sweet, is it brings it all together on a single port.
That's so cool.
Which is just really, really nice.
It's really nice.
So
now
let's build this. This fortunately does not need to be a huge thing at all. We need a form.
Oh gosh. Wonder what's don't remember. Couldn't tell you last time we built the form in HTML. What do we have, like fields?
Yeah, no inputs. But
inputs.
You know what? Let's do. How should we do this? Let's not do a form. Let's just write an input and a button, because that's all we actually need here. Very minimal.
Yeah.
You would probably want something a bit nicer.
Send.
But if we just have an input.
Okay.
Type of text. That's it. Yeah.
Text like that. Yeah.
Quotes around the word text.
So. Okay.
Perfect. And maybe an ID of like message or something.
Sure.
And then just end that off. And a button. Oh, you need to do that on input.
Oh, that's right. Cool. And then a button.
That's right. and the button does close off, and we can have it, send. Where's Doggo? Here we go, stream.
Get on up here.
Doggo knows he's about to be on Twitch.
Does he?
Doggo's saying no paps.
No. My doggo has been quarantined away from me, is in the other room right now. My dog. Oh my gosh. Oh my God, he has so much personality.
I love him.
He has truly. How's he adapting to Big Brotherhood?
Remarkably well.
Really?
He's just very curious and protective, which is great. It was either that or jealousy, but you're still number one. Joint number one.
I've heard that that can happen.
Yeah.
The jealousy.
No, you're with me now. You're with me.
Come on.
He's like, how much of a drop is it?
Right.
How many bones will I break? All right, go on.
Can I manage?
Right.
Okay, great.
We've got
So
this form.
we have the form. Looks good.
This form will do nothing. Let's just write. There are so many strategies for this. That is a squeaky toy.
Oh,
it's a
no
squeaky
worries.
toy apart, so I'm going to go with the squeaky toy. So there are quite a few strategies for this. One is we do a form and we kind of do we handle form submissions.
Sure.
One is we write a bit of JavaScript that will take the message. Okay. So let's just write a bit of JavaScript. I think it's just going to be the easiest way to do this. So we'll do a script tag, and because this is all running on the same port, it's really nice and easy. So we write the word. Oh no! So what we're going to need to do is handle when someone hits send.
Oh, on.
No. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
No, we're just gonna write text straight within the script tag.
Used for days. Right.
So-
Oh my gosh, you too. Okay. Yes, I'm with you.
That's all good. So let's type in inside of the script tag document dot get. Oh no, inside of the inside.
Oh yeah.
To script.
Do you know what's good is that I do notice my keyboard is it's my CPU has dropped down to 12% now.
Well, that's what it is then.
Yeah.
Could we keep my calm and just hit a little enter before the word document?
Oh sure, of course.
Completely doesn't
Keep it
matter.
calm.
Just white space, but it made that so much better already.
Oh my God, I'm so happy for you.
Document dot what do we
ID.
Query selector all. Query selector all. There it is.
Yeah,
Query
there she
selector
is.
all. And then that's a method. So round brackets, quotes, and we can just write the word button. We can essentially use a CSS selector in here.
Fabulous.
So button is good. And on the right hand of that, dot add event listener.
What did you just say? I really liked Aaron's idea. I got distracted of coding tutorials with videos of puppies. I mean, that's
love that.
true. You're not wrong. What did you want me to do here?
Add event listener.
Oh,
No, that was right. Dot add event listener. Capital E. Capital. And then that's
awesome.
a method. So
I'm glad you like it, Martin.
Hang on. So no.
Within there.
The parentheses. Yeah. First parameter will be the type of event. So in quotes, we're going to write the word click.
Yep.
And the second parameter will be a function that will run when that happens. So function.
What do we?
Round brackets,
Yep.
and then squigglies, and we'll write our logic inside of there.
Yeah.
Not the squigglies inside of the parentheses. One to the right.
Gotcha.
That's it. That's the one. Brilliant. So when we hit the button, this code will run. What are we going to do here? We are going. They're so distracting, aren't they?
Bichons and alpacas. What do we want in here? I don't know. I don't know where we are.
So we're going to grab the input of the text box. We're going to send it to our API endpoint. So let's create a new variable and call it message. And that'll be equal to document.getElement by ID.
Okay, and then
You can
the
use
ID.
a query select all as well.
What did we? What was the ID of that one? And not quite
we
as
called
popular
it
as
message.
enough. Code
And then
and
just
chat. Yeah.
right. and then on the very right-hand side of that, dot value. And that will grab the input from the box. No, not parentheses, actually, yeah. And then let's new line and just console log
it. Okay.
Just check that we are on the right.
Yeah.
Great.
All right.
Let's open our terminal in our browser, show the browser, try typing a message and hit send.
Okay. Oh, you all probably want to see that.
And then open up your terminal in your browser.
Yep.
No, so I said terminal, I meant console. So.
Yep, I knew what you meant.
All right.
Add event listeners, not the function.
I think query selector. Do you want to know what? I don't. We don't have time for this. Let's add an ID to the button. Let's get an ID.
By ID.
I think query selector.
We're like,
array.
This is
path of least resistance.
Yep. Let's. Oh wait, y'all probably want to watch us do this. Document by get element by ID. Oh, that's not what I wanted. By class name, we could do that too.
What would you like?
And then here
1
we
minute
go.
You want to be on the screen.
1 minute you do. 1 minute
Make your
you
mind
don't.
Okay, guys.
All right, so now over here we see that it works.
Fabulous. So now that we've got the message, we can fire that off to our endpoint.
Great.
So nice thing about this is we can use kind of built-in browser APIs to make this work. So after we create a variable called message, we can type in the word fetch. Fetch, and then fetch is a
yep.
So round brackets, quotes, and we provide an API, like an API endpoint, and this is going to be /.netlify.
I just keep getting caught by that one.
There are ways you can improve that.
How do you spell that? Netlify. Yep.
/functions /send.
Yeah, that's gonna.
And again, there are loads of strategies for how we can send data to this. I'm gonna vote we just add it as a. Oh no, we don't want to add it as a query string because it'll have spaces and new lines and stuff like that. So what we're going to want to do here, we're going to want to send a post request. So the first parameter of fetch is a URL. The second parameter will be an object with some settings.
Okay.
The first one will be method, and the value will be post.
I'm going to drop this to a new line. Don't we need a bunch of them?
Because we're going to need another one, so it'll make it a bit more readable. Post is in quotes. And the other value will be body. And body has to be a string. So what we're going to do, we can...
What is that like?
We can just do, instead of quotes, let's just write message. Message will be a string.
Cool.
Great. So that is everything we need to do here. There is obviously a point where we're going to get a response. So let's also handle a response, and then in send.js, we will just send a response that it's been successful. Otherwise, we'll have no idea on the front end whether it actually sent or not.
Right.
So
good point.
Yeah, let's
message shouldn't be
in quotes.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you. Right, what are we going to do after fetch? After the rounded bracket on line 10.
Yep, sorry.
We are going to do a dot then. Round bracket. We can so this kind of intermediate step takes what is known as a readable string, which is what is returned from a fetch request, and turns it into a JSON object. This step, in my opinion, shouldn't need to exist, but it does. We can make this bit really short, and you just kind of know that this is a necessary step with fetch. We can do R. I'm going to use the letter R for response or whatever. It doesn't really matter. An arrow function, so equals and a greater than sign. That is not an equals, that is a dash. Unless it's your font showing slightly different.
It is my, it is.
That's an equals, great. And then r.json. And JSON is a method, so round brackets, please. And then go all the way to the right-hand side of this line. So we've turned it into a JSON object, and then then round brackets again. Call this like response. You can call this is now the actual data as we will be sent. You can do an arrow function or a traditional function. It's up to you. Squiggly brackets, and let's just console.log the response. And in the real, I did something a bit nicer with this, showing it in the UI, but this will be fine for today. I'll leave you to make it more
sure.
If you wish. So what do we know now? Well, we need to return something, which we already do. We return message hello, so we return something that isn't an error. The other thing we'll probably want to do on the fetch request actually is just catch errors. So at the end of line 12 actually, you can just do a .catch. And so if we end up returning that 500 with the error, we will return it to the front end as well. Call it error, and it is we can do it as an arrow function.
Cool.
And I think the best way to present this, hang on a moment.
Oh.
No, if that's an equals, then on line 10, they're not equals. The arrow.
This.
Because I've now seen that is not an arrow. No, there needs to be an equals, not a dash.
This is an equals.
So choose. Is it an equals? It looks different to the equals on line 12 that you just did. That was very odd.
It changes. Watch. I know what you're referring. It's
yeah. Look, that looks different to the 2 lines above.
Does it? Okay, so here's the equal.
Oh, it does to me.
Okay, watch. Okay, there's that. Now bring them together. They turn into that.
But that looks different to me to the one on line 10. The one on line 10 looks a lot like skinnier as an arrow. It looks like you've done a dash.
Fascinating. How do I promise you that maybe let's make it a little bigger. That's going to be annoying.
I mean, now it's an equals. How odd is that? Anyway, it's fine.
What did you want me to do here anyway?
Just alert. Just pop it up to the user. Alert error. Like, we don't need to do anything fancy. We just need to get an indication that it wasn't correct. And you know what we might want to do? Console.log response. Instead of console.log the response on line 11, let's just alert that it was sent successfully. So now we don't need to worry about the console. So on line 11, we don't actually care about what the response is. We're not sending anything fancy on the response. We just want an indication everything's good.
Or do you want it just like a...
Just say it's okay. Because the response is useless to us in this application. Yeah. Great. So we are going to send, this is going to be a post request. It's going to have some data. It's going to send it to our endpoint. Now we're going to need to do something with that data. So let's go back to send.js.
Right, we need to take it back.
What I'm going to request you do is, can you comment out line 18 while we develop this? Otherwise we will constantly be sending messages to you every time we test it. We'll come back to that. So over at the top of the try block, I guess, let's make sure that we can grab this data.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the way this works is because we send it as a string. Oh, but it isn't JSON, it's just a string. Let's just console.log event.body, I think.
Rec.body?
No, event.body, because event is the first.
Okay.
Line 14.
Right.
Let's hit send in the browser and just see what console logs.
Y'all want to see that? Wait, it can't be send. It has to be Netlify.
No. You don't need to do this. Just hit send. Hit send on the in the web page we built, because now we're testing the integration between those. So we're kind of done just hitting the API endpoint.
Got it. Of course.
From our page. We'll host 8888.
Mm-hmm. And we've got it not found. Woof. We've got it.
So just go to localhost 8888, and we're going to see if we can get the value from the form into our into our application.
Got it. Yep.
Hi, Kevin.
Oh, wait,
There it
shoot.
is.
Should be showing you.
And
Okay, we got that. But then also, let's look in our console we have here as well. Great.
Which means the string we want to send to people is in event.body.
Event.body.
So
really, are we in, can you all see the code right now? Yeah. So here we need to change this to, sorry, keep going.
No, you're right. We're coming to a close quite quickly. I didn't realize how swiftly we were getting here. But yeah, event.body. We don't need to console log it anymore.
Yeah, let's get rid of that.
Or I mean, we can or don't have to. It really doesn't matter. I generally clean things up just as I go, but whatever. It really doesn't matter. And that is, in its purest form, BabyBot completed. I would
BabyBot.
Let's try deploying it on Netlify, seeing what happens there, and then I can just talk you through the other bits I did.
Okay, yes.
Just so you're aware.
Okay, so we restart, we hit Netlify dev.
No. So that works. Let's actually try deploying it. Let's actually try
That's
right.
That's right.
Not on our local machine, so we can actually use it. So we can actually stop this, and all we need to do is make a Git commit. Because there is a link between our GitHub repository that we did right at the very beginning and our Netlify. So before you do this, you might just want to add the node modules folder to your Git ignore, or it will be a very big commit.
Oh man, node modules. Okay. Yep.
And even though we set up a Git repository at the beginning just to get Netlify working nicely, we've actually not committed or pushed anything.
That's right.
This is all our initial commit.
Okay. We'll add all of it.
Yeah.
And then... all right, let's push it.
And now if we go, oh yeah, sorry, yes, that is necessary.
It'll tell me if I just do push, right? Like what I need to, yeah.
You do need to do that the first time.
Sweet.
We'll just wait for that to go up, and then if you go over to Netlify, we can actually watch this deploy quite nicely. So
Lovely.
if we go back to our browser, we go back to the page, scroll up to the very top, and deploys. It's the second option.
Oh yeah.
And we can see that it is now building. The failed deploy is fine. That was just initial when we set it up. In fact, you can click into that and watch the deploy logs as well, and you can see everything it's kind of doing under the hood. Oh, cannot find module Airtable Plus.
Eek.
Let's take a look at our why we don't have a package.json file. Right at the very beginning, we've installed it locally, which means it's in node modules, but we've made no reference to it existing. This was a small error on our part at the very beginning.
Yep.
So if we just do npm init-y in our terminal, and -y answers default to all the questions, and then we can just do npm install nexmo airtable plus again, and it will store it in the package.json.
Airtable plus and nexmo.
Yeah, and it shouldn't actually go and grab those files, but what it will do is pop them in the package.json file with dependencies.
Yep.
These deploy summaries are very useful.
Truly. Yeah, look at it just back over here. Yeah, it was really nice.
Let's wait for those. And now that our package.json file exists, we can go ahead and commit and push that to GitHub, and Netlify will pick that up and attempt another deploy. Perfect.
So we can then go back to the browser and watch.
Yeah, so we'll need to just go back one step because this is for this individual now failed deploy.
Now we
and
can
it will
watch
go and
this
build.
building.
Yeah.
Lovely. Lovely.
So it's going ahead, grabbing all the files, deploying them, picking up that we have a function, deploying that.
Baby bot is almost here with us. Site is live. Preview?
And so we can preview in just a moment, but if we scroll all the way up, just to kind of show you where everything lives now that it's in Netlify.
Sure.
Our environment variables were in our settings. We don't need to look at those. We kind of are aware of that. But if we go right up to the top, there is a tab near where deploys what's called functions. So all the way up at the top. Oh, actually, sorry, no, it's back one step where it says deploys with the left arrow.
The functions bit here, yeah, I remember.
Functions, yeah, and that is now our function. Now, one thing that's really nice is if you console log anything in that function, it will log here.
Here? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so you can kind of do... there are nicer solutions for, like, handling anything, but it will log
that's cool.
Notice that our URL is now https://llt.netlify.app/.netlify function send.
Yeah.
So what we'll want to do is take that URL and provide that to... actually, we don't need to provide it anyway because we didn't do inbound. But if you'd accepted SMS, you need to update the phone number settings in the Vonage API dashboard with this URL as opposed to...
Right, with the ngrok one that we have running locally.
Yeah, so now we can go to babybot.llt.netlify.app and we should load that HTML page and hopefully everything will work.
Martin made a fun comment that he read it as babybot lit. That babybot's lit.
Ooh, that's good. Is it bad that I also read it as that, even though I was the one who suggested that?
Yeah, you did, didn't you?
So let's go and try and send a message.
Okay, so babybot alert.
Yeah.
So
stuff is happening.
The baby is here.
I mean, that was one.
I bet that was one.
And yeah. Everyone can send us messages because, yes, this is a live URL on the actual web. Hello, everyone.
Fab.
Hello, participants.
Except I'm not getting it, and I'm wondering if there's something that we did that was UK specific versus US.
It very simply could have been, did you put in your phone number correctly with the correct formatting in Airtable?
In Airtable. Maybe not. I forgot the one. The same thing as I did before.
So actually, this will bring us... Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to forget a step now.
No, nothing. You don't need to do anything because it grabbed from Airtable. You've updated Airtable, and it does that every time we send a message.
Huh.
So this was by design. There were loads of ways I could have implemented a database. I implemented it with Airtable because as I remembered family members or friends that I wanted to be kept in the loop, I could just do it in Airtable. Nothing had to be touched code-wise. Nothing had to be redeployed. Nothing fancy like that. Amy also had access to this.
I see.
Which meant that she could also add family members.
Yeah, so you're only bugging Kevin. Yes, whoever. Yes, okay, the baby's arrived. Got it. I've got the baby's here. Sage, welcome to the world.
Sorry in advance.
That's so funny.
So that is babybot.
That is babybot. Let's pause and celebrate. That's great.
Woo,
all right, so I know you were gonna take me through what you intended to build after that piece. Yeah,
or what I did build in the reel.
Oh, so right.
Steps. So the first one is actually very So some people on the stream are sending messages through this URL.
Right.
Brilliant, fantastic.
Cool. Thanks so much. Love you guys. Love you all so much.
but this did introduce a very interesting thing that I had to consider, which we are now seeing the other side of, which is what if someone stumbled across this URL? They were able to send messages to 25 people.
Sure. Wildly unsecure.
So, a very nice, easy solution to this was I added a second field here on this web page. There was
watch
a
it tick
second
down.
field, and the field was a send key.
Smart.
And then that was stored as an environment variable.
Smart.
And when we get a new message in, when we have a new form submission, I check the key first. And if the key is correct, I let it send. And if it isn't, then it comes back and says it was an incorrect key.
Perfect.
So I handled this I mean, it wouldn't have worked on a stream because people would have known the key, but in the real, that would have worked quite nice.
So yes.
A few other things. The sending SMS.
Such a hacker.
Is that actually the URL that I used? No. Not a million miles off, to be honest.
I don't want to even try. Let's not try to hack his beautiful app to update his family and friends.
You know what? I'm confident. It's Baby Dashbot. I'm confident because I implemented the key check.
Right, you have the key check. Let's look. All right, fine. Here we go. Baby Dashbot. Yeah. Baby bot. Baby bot. Ooh, very cute. Yeah. So that's a great error handle or fraud protection for family.
Stopping malicious use, stopping people stumbling across it. So it also used the key, and the key was an environment variable in Netlify. So you can send that, and I'm really nervous now.
Missing key.
Okay. I'm less confident now because there are still 25 people in this Airtable. But I'm pretty confident it won't work unless the key is correct. I'm sure our lovely chat have already discovered if that's the case.
Right, they are so good at that. Here's what I'm gonna do real quick: is just delete us from.
I mean, on this one, yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So the next thing I did was I took the send message logic into its own function. I returned a promise, and that promise would return whether each individual person successfully had a message sent or if there was some error from the Vonage API platform.
Got it.
If there was an error, I would then display it underneath the send button. So it would say, for example, successes 23, failures 2.
Got
Kevin,
it.
8. And then I would know, and that's why we were storing the names.
That's what you were saying, so that then you can decide whether or not to go in and handle those pieces in Airtable.
The names in this small demo we built today, well done, there's your key. Have you got your browser showing, or have you got
Damn
your...
it!
That was just beautiful. That was just absolutely amazing. So good. So what I will suggest is after this stream, just regenerate that key.
Sounds good.
Even though there's nothing in your account. So that was so good. And so it would tell me if there were any failures. So they were the key functionalities on the outbound messages. There was also is that visible?
No.
No. That you
I have the code pulled up now, so folks cannot see that.
And there wasn't much else on the front end other than the fact sending out messages. Apart from it also prepended every message with like a fixed string, so people kind of got the idea that this was automated. They can't respond and so on. And then finally, the other bit was inbound messages. So I did build for the eventuality that someone responded, and of course they did, because
of course because even though you read the message, it's
fine. So what that did was slightly different.
Yeah.
It received inbound messages, and from the payload that we get from the Vonage API platform, we get obviously the message that they sent. We also get their phone number. Their phone number is stored in Airtable. So I did an Airtable query. I saw if this number exists, and in my database, i.e., is it a family member who is just replying, excuse me.
Right.
And if it was, then I would then send their message to both Amy and I, and it was prepended with a message from Lauren.
Got it.
So, because otherwise it will just say a message from phone number, and then I have to scramble to work out who the phone number belongs to, and that just is no fun.
That makes a lot of sense to me. That's a really nice way to handle all of it. All right, the two of them are just now laughing at the fact that you're right. Absolutely. I showed it. That happens. I got really close to the end of the episode with it not happening, and that's okay. We have already regenerated it as we have been chatting.
I mean,
and
there's nothing interesting in there, but it's good.
No.
It's good hygiene, right? If someone sees your key, the first thing you do is regenerate it, like the very, very first thing. Same goes for our API, and it happens to everyone.
Oh my gosh,
even
absolutely.
if we were literally 2 minutes from the end.
That's the tough part, is I thought I had made it, and I thought I could like gloat a little bit, but I guess I can't. That's okay. Save space. I know, key on screen highlight reel. It's a funny idea. Yeah, we have enough moments of us all doing it that we could really make a highlight reel or like a blooper reel of all of us doing it. But you know, this has been so joyous, and it was wonderful, Kevin, as always, to have you here and participate in this stream and to be such a great educator. And I just appreciate you kind of walking me through all of these different pieces and exposing me to how the interconnected Netlify, that's incredible. And good luck trying to guess Kevin's key. I wish you so much luck in that journey, Aaron. Thank you for
every person out of my Airtable now. Oh
my gosh. Well, thank you everyone, just even for being part of the stream. We have a stream tomorrow. We have a stream yes, Martin is going to be on the stream tomorrow. That is really exciting. And it's developer drop-in. Bring your questions. I believe he's really excited to be chatting about and showing off his PHP skills. And then we have the late night build coming on Friday as well. So we've got a lot of things coming and happening in the Vonage Devs universe. Yes, and congratulations, Kevin, on fatherhood. You're the best. So
thank
happy.
you. I didn't really do much work, did I? Amy's done all the work, so congrats to Amy.
Congrats to Amy, most importantly. But thank you everyone for being a part of this, and I will see you all. Oh yes.
Could I do a quick plug?
I would love for you. Yeah.
Excellent. If you have watched this stream and you use Vonage APIs in any capacity, I would like to encourage you to check out Vonagevoyages. It is a new program that we launched a couple of weeks ago to reward those who use our APIs with some cool stuff like early access programs, getting to see what we build before other people see it, provide some feedback and get to play with them, some cool swag, and some other bits, like exclusive sessions, office hours, drop-ins, training not only technically but also in how to make really awesome technical content, so that that could be writing or videos or streams or stuff like that. So if you are interested in being part of the first cohort of Voyages, the applications will always be open, but
it's
if you're
rolling,
interested in making it to the first one, it's rolling. That's right.
Okay, that's really cool.
So there'll be multiple windows throughout the year. So right now it's apply before August 15th.
I have a link right here.
The September cohort. And if you apply after that, then you might be able to make it into the following cohort. So it's not rolling, but you can always apply for whatever the next cohort is. I'd love to encourage you to check this out. The team that I work on, the community team, has been working really hard on it, and hopefully we'll get to see a couple of you become Vonagevoyages.
Wouldn't that be
awesome?
And
there's cool swag.
Cool swag, cool opportunity to collaborate with all the developer advocates and educators and community advocates and everyone involved in the world of Vonage. And yeah, just a really cool program that we are excited to see blossom. So thank you for shouting that out. I really appreciate it. I'm on hiatus for the next 2 weeks because you got to take some DTO every once in a while. So I'll see you all at the end of August. Can't wait. Lorna will be joining me, and we will be, I have no idea what we're doing, but she's going to come and join me. It's going to be so awesome. Do we get Vonage onesies? I do know that the swag is like top tier, super cool. So just keep that in mind. Don't forget it. Apply today. It'll be super fun. I promise. And that was BabyBot. So Kevin, thank you once again for being here with me. Vonesies. Okay, we gotta wrap this up. Y'all are being ridiculous.
Yeah, we're done. We're done.
Yeah. On that note,
see you in 3 weeks.
Bye. Stop streaming. Here we go.